Video games get such a bad rap in the media, even more than Jake and Logan Paul, but often the powers bestowed on us mere humans from our endless gaming sessions go unnoticed. Accused of causing raging teenagers and loser loners, video games have so much more to offer and even saved lives. Yes, you heard that right. So we thought it was only fair to honour our beloved games with 10 of the best occasions when video games actually help to save real, not pixelated, lives. When 12-year-old Hans-Jürgen Olsen and his little sister took a shortcut to school, they didn't think it would take them into the territory of an angry male moose. Hans wasn't about to let this moose ruin his day and deployed his knowledge of the popular and insanely successful MMO World of Warcraft, taunting the beast like he would in WoW. It seemed to work as the moose focused on him so his little sister could run to safety. As the moose charged him down, he pulled another trick from his bag of WoW skills and feigned death. The moose soon lost interest and walked away, leaving these two little Norwegian kids to rush home and recount their tale of valour and victory. Paxton Galvanek may sound like a supervillain in a James Bond novel, but he truly is a hero who credits his life-saving work to video games, and one in particular. The incredibly realistic weapons and combat training of America's Army is also accompanied by a ridiculously in-depth combat medic training program that apparently rivals a real-life EMT course. This North Carolina man put his medical video game know-how to the test when one evening in 2007, while driving down the highway, an SUV flipped violently in front of him and landed upside down in a ditch. Hero mode was initiated, and Paxton dashed from his vehicle, managing to safely rescue the man from the smoking, twisted wreck. He was able to staunch the bleeding from the poor man's 2 severed fingers, remembering his training, and assessed his other injuries, including cuts to his head, while he waited for paramedics to arrive. And people say video games are bad for us. A Canadian teenager made the news when he was able to help a severely depressed friend he'd made on Xbox Live. After listening to some worrying statements that alluded to suicide, this 14-year-old decided that he wanted to help. He called the police and, without knowing the troubled youth's name or address, was able to get him the help he needed. Through Xbox Live, the police were able to talk down the youth and get him the help he needed. When the authorities contacted the suicidal boy's parents in Texas, they had no idea that there was a problem. It took another teenager 1,500 miles away to help save the day. Tony Hansberry was just a normal 14-year-old kid. He loved to play Xbox and, be a kid. But unlike other kids his age, or double his age for that matter, Tony decided to put his gaming skills to the test by actually advancing medical science. For his high school science fair project, Hansberry unveiled a super simple but revolutionary new procedure for stitching up patients after surgery. Using a device called the endo stitch, Tony demonstrated sewing up patients with a vertical endo stitch instead of a horizontal one. It may sound like a simple change, but it required hugely more skill and coordination, while guiding a camera inside the patient and maneuvering the endo-stitch device with a controller. Doctors said the precise hand-to-eye coordination required was exceptional and far more than most adults could ever hope to achieve, and attributed the skill to the amount of time Tony spent playing video games. Unbelievably, doctors were so impressed with his surgical procedure on dummies, they replicated it on actual patients, resulting in a much reduced recovery time, complications, and pain. When Dota 2 player Nikki Elise, who goes by the Twitch name of Sajdeni, I don't know how to say that, started a match of Dota 2 broadcasting to her fans from her home in Tempe, Arizona, I bet she didn't think it would capture a home invasion and gunpoint robbery. While playing, she heard someone knocking at her door and left the stream for a moment to see who it was. It was then that she was attacked at gunpoint. Luckily for her, the stream captured much of what unfolded, and her fans immediately began contacting their local police authorities. Thankfully, a friend of hers that was also watching the stream was able to send the police directly to her address, where they managed to apprehend one of the burglars. His accomplice, however, managed to escape and is still on the run. It's scary to think what people can do, but as police said, it was a worldwide effort with calls coming in from almost every corner of the globe. Recovering from the horrors of a stroke is often a very long and painful journey where you have to relearn all of your basic everyday skills, all the while recovering from extensive neurological damage. Traditional therapies often focus on physical recovery like your muscles or stimulating your mind. Very rarely do these treatments work on both. However, researchers found that stroke patients who played video games on either a Nintendo Wii or a Sony PlayStation were up to 5 times more likely to show improvements in arm motor function compared to patients just undergoing standard therapy. Of course, we all know that video games provide both mental and physical coordination and stimulation at once, because action in video games is always changing. This requires the gamer to constantly adapt and change strategies, which helps heal the gamer patient's brain by augmenting neuroplasticity. Praise the power of the game! Back in 2011, David Ritchie was driving home along a snowy highway in Canada when the unthinkable became really damn thinkable. An 18-wheeler truck on the opposite side of the road lost control and ploughed through the central reservation and straight towards him. In an interview afterwards, David said, "Everything seemed to slow down and I thought of all those years playing video games really paid off." This goes straight to the heart of the positive video game argument, where games improve our instincts and reaction times among other things. We've all hurtled down a road in GTA and swerved to avoid that oncoming old lady driver that ignores the light, only to spin wildly and resume our race to victory. And this guy amazingly lived to tell the tale. Not only does this kid have a cool name, but he is also a hero. Griffin Sanders from Colorado, at the tender age of 10, grabbed the steering wheel of his grandmother's Buick sedan when she passed out at the wheel mid-sentence. The car, travelling at 60 miles an hour, was steered to safety by Griffin's quick thinking, saving not only himself and his grandmother, but also his 4-year-old brother in the back seat. When asked what happened, Griffin said, "I could see over the dashboard while I was driving, so I had an idea of where I was driving into. I couldn't get to the brakes because Grandma Great was in the way." Darlene, his grandmother, said she was very proud of his actions, and I bet she now lets him play as much video games as he likes. What a cool dude. 3 youths stormed into a gaming cafe in Kaneohe, Hawaii, and began to rough up the front desk employee. The brazen bandits appeared to be doing well, taking money from kids, customers, and behind the till, until they made a fatal mistake. They tried to take one guy's DS. Oh hell no! The dedicated gamer loses his shiitake mushrooms and goes full Hulk on the robbers, flying straight at his would-be thieves with a flurry of fearsome punches. After managing to land one, he receives a number in return, but his honourable act of valour inspired his fellow gamers to find their inner heroes, who eventually fight back, stealing the mask of one robber and causing the rest to flee, where they were then later apprehended by the authorities. Dementia and Alzheimer's are horrible diseases that rob a person of their life before they actually die, so finding a cure and prolonging enjoyable, healthy life is incredibly important. Alzheimer's Research UK teamed up with Deutsche Telekom and scientists from University College London and the University of East Anglia to develop a special game called Sea Hero Quest, which is free on Android and iOS devices. People with dementia can face real challenges with navigation, a problem that can occur early on in the condition, so these clever scientists started creating this pioneering, innovative piece of dementia science. Any of us playing a game will actually help scientists understand in detail how our brains navigate space and help to build the largest crowdsourced database on human spatial navigation. So this game is really helping to save thousands, if not millions, of lives. This was our list showcasing 10 real-life occasions when video games saved lives, and we hope you've enjoyed our video. If you did, please press that like button, as we do appreciate it and it helps us immensely. We often ask our audience for suggestions to compile these lists, and if you'd like to contribute, please follow Frag Hero on Facebook. If you know of any other instances where video games saved real lives, please tell us about them in the comments below, because we do try to read pretty much everything. Now would also be a great time to encourage you to subscribe, because we upload new stuff all of the time, so subscribing will keep you up to date with all of our latest videos. You can also check out fraghero.com for more gaming related articles, but until next time, thanks for watching and have a great day.